starlings. Welcome to my sector of the universe. This is Jess from Capella Wellness, here to help you step into your truth and star into your power. For those of you who've never been here before, welcome. Hello to you. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you who are returning for another weekly, thank you again for coming back and for joining me for another weekly message. And for those who are my subscribers, I cannot thank you enough for your love, your loyalty, and your support. I am truly grateful for each and every one of you. If you would like a personal reading with me, all of that information is in the description box below. I wish you all a beautiful, transformational, empowering week. And I send you so much love and many, many blessings. With that being said, let's get into your reading. Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your weekly reading. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I hope your week is going well. I send you many blessings and much, much love for this week and the weekend ahead. All right, Cancer, if you've never been here before, what we're going to do is we're going to see where your overall theme is for this week, what you need to focus on, and what you need to avoid for your spiritual growth, because that is what this is all about. In order for you to align yourself and attract the wonderful blessings and miracles God has waiting for you. Stick around to the end so you can see what other guidance Spirit has for you to help you navigate these energies. And we're going to see what the new moon in Aquarius is bringing you this time around. That happens on January 31st or February 1st, depending on where you are in the world. And then we're going to check up on your love energies. All right. Here we go. Spirit guides, angels, galactic family, Pleiadian Sirians, please reveal to us for our highest good. What is the overall theme for Cancer for this week? Please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. Now, when I say this week, Cancer, of course, doesn't have to be this week alone, because time is fluid and energy is always changing. Cancer, we have cut the cords, and I think we all know what this is about. And you probably have a lot of names and things coming to mind right now that says this person cut the cord, this job cut the cord, this friendship cut the cord, that type of thing. Okay. So I will have to say, Cancer, I've been talking to some of my other Capella crew members and some clients, and some of them have been trying to do cord cutting, but it doesn't seem to be working. So while this is important, there's a particular way in which to do this, but there's also some healing on top of this that needs to be done. And I believe that, I know for me, part of the cord cutting involves forgiveness here. So, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, forgiveness. If it's cord cutting with people, yes, forgiveness is tied to this. It applies. But when it comes to letting go of bad habits, of maybe giving too much of yourself to others and not enough to yourself, or self-sabotaging or something like that, that could be cord cutting, where there's certain things you just gotta snap off. Okay, just like, it's not just cutting the cord, it's kind of like setting the cord on fire and completely breaking it or something like that. It just, because if you cut the cord, sometimes that line is still there, right? It just falls to the floor, and it could have the possibility of being reattached. So either way, Cancer, there's things you really just have to release here that no longer serve you. And if you're having a hard time, especially because some of you, this has to do with a relationship, could be a karmic, could be your counterpart, could be both. All right. This is the time now for you to just release all of this and give it to God. It's the surrender card, where you're dealing with, even with Queen of Cups, right? Having compassion and forgiveness for somebody and that unconditional love, but just not judging the person and just letting them go. It's like going with the flow. All right. Allowing yourself to just remember that everything happens in divine timing. And if you want something to happen or manifest, or you're hoping that something gets better or something clears, you do have to do something. You can't get something for nothing. And sometimes you have to do, if in order to get something you've never had, you're going to have to do something you've never done. And maybe this is it, Cancer. And I know for some of you guys, based off your previous readings, it's been really hard for you to let go of things. Sometimes your emotions get the best of you, Cancer, and you have to have that head-heart balance, right? It's the energy of the King and Queen of Swords and the King and Queen of Cups here. You can't let your emotions get the best of you, and you can't let your mind get the best of you either. Know how you have to be, it's kind of like learning, having your heart and your mind communicate with each other better. Something like that. But either way, it's this is probably a very hard thing for you to do. And if you want change in your life, Cancer, you have to be the change you wish to see. We all have to take action on things if we want things to get better. If we know that we just want more peace in our lives, we're going to have to do certain things to remove the things that are not bringing us peace if we want peace, right? So, some of you really want things just to end. No more drama. No more feeling overworked. No more feeling stressed out. I'm seeing 10 of Wands and 9 of Swords here now. No more feeling confused, 7 of Cups. No more feeling distracted. It's like you want so many things to be released from you. And some of you may be praying about it and praying about it and praying about it and just hoping that it would magically go away. It's kind of like the 2 of Swords. You know that you need to do something, but you're just hoping it would go away, but you have to take action. You have that paralyzing fear along with the 8 of Swords to make that decision, because either you're afraid of hurting people, you're afraid that you might lose something completely. And if you are a divine counterpart here, if you are a twin flame, you have to let your person go fully. If you want harmonious, physical, sacred union to happen, it's a requirement. And you have to learn how to be happy on your own. Be in the energy of the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles here, building for yourself. To Cancer, I really think in 2022, and I know this is a weekly reading, but again, this is supposed to be timeless. This is the year for you to really just stand up for yourself. 7 of Wands, 5 of Swords, and say enough is enough. I'm going to take full control of my life. I'm seeing all these cards already. The Emperor card. You're just going to really gung-ho this. Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands, and say, I'm taking action finally for my life, for my well-being, because ultimately, Cancer, you are responsible for your well-being and your happiness. Nobody else is. And you could pray all you want. You can wish all you want. You can dream all you want. But if you're just sitting on that couch and not doing anything, or just sitting around, or just wishing too much and hoping too much, when God is telling you to do this, Cancer, that wish isn't going to come true. That thing that you've been asking for isn't going to manifest, because there's something you have to do first. And on top of that, you have to allow divine timing to come into play here. But you have to do your part so that God can work on you and do the rest. But in order to gain something, you have to let go of something. That's how it works. Apparently, Cancer, there's too much of this lower vibrational energy surrounding you, and it's in your energies, and it's blocking the manifestation of your heart's desires. It's blocking your blessings from coming in. And this does have to do with people that don't serve your highest good. They are low vibrational. They are toxic. They are like mopey. They don't have any, they're not aspiring to anything. They're critical of you, or they're taking advantage of you, or they're just I'm hearing mooching off of you or something like that. There even could be energy vampires here, Cancer. It's time to put a stop to this and just say, I'm done. I'm done. No more of this. I need to free myself from this bondage. It's like the devil energy, the dark energy is really trying to keep you down because the devil doesn't want you to receive your blessings in abundance. He doesn't want you to be happy. He wants you to be miserable and to be, tied to all these lower vibrational things, tied to the 3D world, because why? That gives him power. The more people do that, the more power he gets. And I probably have said this in previous readings of yours where we should be giving all that power and glory to God, not to the devil. The devil is not going to bring us peace. He's not going to bring us our heart's desires. No matter what we think, no matter what society says, he's just not. Being in the dark energies is not going to get anyone anywhere. So it's time for you to release what you know is not serving you, Cancer. Because I could say right now, things won't improve if this doesn't get done. On top of you doing the healing work, it's not just cutting the cords. This is a huge theme, yes, but it's not just this. Cut communication, whatever it is, but also energetically. Not thinking so much about an individual or whatever it is that you're tied to. Not giving all of your energy, your time, your energy, even money, because money is energy, to other people who are not reciprocating that, who are not acknowledging it, who are not appreciating it. It all has to go. Even if you are living somewhere where you know the energies are heavy, move. If you're having financial difficulties, ask God to give you a sign or to help you with coming up with the money to relocate. There are people, things, places that are draining your energies here, Cancer. We have to release these attachments. And maybe even for some of you, you may have an addiction of some sort or an obsession with social media or with a connection. And it's just like you might be beginning to spiral out of control or falling into abyss, Cancer. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm not the BS reader who's going to be all unicorns and rainbows unless God specifically says that there are unicorns and rainbows happening for Cancer or for any other sign. Okay? It's about spiritual growth. I'm very passionate about getting people to where they should be, where God wants them to be, about having a blissful life. That's what Capella Wellness is all about. And that's why it's not just about tarot. This is about your well-being and your wellness. And this is a tool for me to use to help others to get there. But you gotta do something about it, Cancer. You have to release these attachments. You have the undeniable support of God, your angels, your ancestors, whoever else to help you with this. If you need to talk to somebody specifically on how to do this, do so. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed of getting help. Help is all around you. Your spirit team is there. You have other human beings who are there for you, especially if you're drawn to them. You can seek their help. There's no shame in asking for help here. Whatever you're hanging on to, whatever you're afraid to let go of, you got to let go of it, Cancer. It's time to do it. It's time to do it. It's unhealthy. It's not for your highest good. There's something way more rewarding for you on the other side. But it starts with this. And again, it's not just this. Some of you have to do a lot more healing. Ancestral pattern healing, relationship healing, chakra healing. But this is not to say that all hope is lost, because all is well. God is just trying to get you to do this for once and for all, I'm hearing. Release these attachments, Cancer. You know what they are. If you're having a hard time on knowing what they are, either I can help you or somebody else who's supportive of you can help you with that. Earth and ground is at the bottom of the deck. Some of you need to really get more grounded. You need a lot more energy, earth energy here. Root chakra, for some of you, is really blocked right now. So some of you need to do some root chakra healing. Start listening to root chakra solfeggio frequencies in your sleep at least every night for an entire month, Cancer. That's just part of what's going to help you to deal with this cord cutting, with releasing unhealthy attachments. Meditate more. Take those sea salt baths. Be more in tune with nature. Spend more time out in nature. Put your feet literally on the ground, your bare feet, if it's not freezing outside. I know I can't do that right now because where I'm at is really cold. But maybe you need to hug a tree. I know it sounds weird, guys, but I've done that before. There's some incredible power when you do hug a tree. And it doesn't matter if people look at you funny. Who gives a crap? Who really gives a crap? It's worked for me. And I don't give two craps about what anyone is thinking anymore. And it's the most glorifying, freeing thing in the world. So you really got to get to center here. Four of Swords, Hanged Man, Hermit even. Just really start reevaluating, okay, I really need to take control of my life and I really need to do some things for me. I know I have to let go of these unhealthy attachments and I have to do it now. I mean, Cancer, Spirit is really telling me to tell you it's imperative that you cut these things out. Queen of Swords, right? There are huge lessons to be learned from everything that you've experienced, even with the unhealthy attachments and the challenges and the disappointments, the negativity. Learn from it and grow from it. We're all here to learn from these experiences, but it doesn't mean that we stay in them. And if we're expecting some miracle to occur, but we're not doing anything about it, the miracle won't occur. That's not how God's miracles work. You also have to believe that it's possible. But again, you're going to have to do some of this. And the cord cutting and the healing and everything else. But you're going to have to take action on this, Cancer. You know you've been needing to do this for a while. It's okay because it's hard. And for you, Cancer, it's been harder more so for the other signs. Because you are very nurturing and very loving. And some of you, there's a lot of it because depending on where your placements are, where Cancer falls, where your Venus falls in your chart, other water signs, even your earth signs, your earth placements, okay? So start communicating more with your guides and your angels. Spend more time out in nature. Connect with water, connect with Mother Earth, whatever it is that you feel more drawn to. Spend more time outdoors. Get away from the craziness of the world and just observe the wonderment of nature and the stillness of it. How God provides for all creatures in the trees and the grass and the rivers and everything. If you're by mountains, go hiking or whatever it is. Take a walk just outside. There's got to be some sort of trail near you where there aren't that many people. Maybe go for your lunch break and just go out there and receive that stillness and peace from God when being out in nature. Okay. A lot of grounding needs to take place here, Cancer. But you know what? It can be done. We all go through this. But in order for these blessings and abundance to come in, you're going to have to release quite a few things, okay? Let's see what you need to focus on for this week. What does Cancer need to focus on for this week? Spirit guides, angels, galactic family, Pleiadian Syrians, please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. See? 8 of Swords. All right, Cancer. It's time for you to get out of this. You're not tied up. You are not stuck. There is a way out. You're just not seeing it. You're going to have to take the blindfold off. You're going to have to really trust your intuition here, because your intuition is telling you exactly what it is you need to do to get out of this situation. You know, I talked about bondage, being tied to something. You got to release yourself from this. And for some of you, you're all up in your head. There's some paralyzing fear here about you making that decision with the cord cutting, with releasing those people, those unhealthy attachments, jobs, where you live. It could be all of the above for you, Cancer. You have room to move away from these swords, and you just have to take some steps forward. In order for you to get out of this predicament and get out of these energies here, you're gonna have to take a few steps forward. Some of you may be wanting someone to come and save you, but you can save yourself, because here's the thing you can't see. You may think that you're all tied up fully, but you don't see what's behind her, do you? It's a completely loose ribbon, or loose, it's not even rope. Okay? Whatever she's tied up in, it's loose in the back. But she's like, well, I can't see it, so I'm assuming I'm stuck. So I need somebody else to come and untie me from this. But you know what? I bet you anything. You turn her around, you go behind her. All she has to do is wiggle her arms, and this whole, whatever she's tied up with, comes down to the ground, which she can then lift up the blindfold. And then she will say, oh, I have a way forward. There's a way out of here. I have to stop doubting myself. I have to stop mistrusting my intuition. Look at things from a higher perspective. Really start looking at what is it that's really giving me this fear to move? Honestly, Cancer, you're the one who's entrapping yourself in this situation. It's an illusion. You think you're trapped. You think you're stuck. Nobody is ever trapped or stuck. Nobody. There is always a way out of these situations. You have to free yourself from this, and only you can do it. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You start to take those steps to free yourself from this mental prison, from feeling stuck and unsure of yourself. You got to get that confidence to get out of there. And once you take those steps, God's going to see it. Oh, Cancer finally realized that they're not stuck, that they're not trapped, that everything, all of this paranoia and fear, the crisis that they're in, it's an illusion. It's not a real thing. It's all about perception, Cancer. And for your, based on this energy here with all of these swords, that's mental craziness going on. You're all super up in your head. You're causing the crisis for yourself. You're perceiving it to be doom and gloom and a crisis. You got to get out of those negative thoughts. You got to stop thinking negatively. Maybe that's an attachment for you. Unhealthy attachment, the negative thinking. Thinking if you do something for yourself that it's doom and gloom or it's going to cause drama or something like that. It won't. If you believe it will, then that's what's going to manifest. See, this mental monkey mind here is what attracts doom and gloom and crises, however the pluralization of that is. It brings more negative energy to you. This is negative energy because your mind is racing with the inability to decide for yourself, to have confidence with all this doubt that is surrounding you. You got to let go of that. That's why I was talking about meditation. You got to ground yourself because you are all up in your head, your heart space. I don't see any cups energy yet. You're not following your heart. It's like your crown chakra and your third eye are blocked. Too. You have to clear your mind. That's why earth and ground is here. Clear your mind, meditate, so that it brings you clarity and removes all the illusions and confusion about that decision you want to make. And don't give in to the fear of what happens when you release those people, those things, those unhealthy attachments. We have the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. For maybe a few of you here, this could be dealing with a marriage that you are in that is not serving you. It's an unhealthy marriage, possibly. Apparently, it's a marriage where there's a lot of unrest here. A lot of chaotic things going on. It's maybe you already feel that your marriage is doomed. Maybe you've been trying to make it work and nothing's been working, and probably God, this is the God card, has been telling you, you know what, Cancer? There's nothing you can do. You've done your best. It's time to move on. That's for somebody here. Others of you, this is about you're afraid of what society's going to think, especially if you are contemplating divorce here. Remember, take what resonates, leave what doesn't for somebody else, but keep your unhealthy ego in check. And remember, you need to be honest with yourself, right? Being dishonest only attracts more dishonesty and disharmonious everything. So maybe somebody here is afraid about, what society says about divorce, or there's these things about religion that you're afraid to go a different path than you have been on because of society, because of the programming through your childhood and into adulthood, because of the religion that you grew up with. That could very well be what's causing you to make the move forward. Maybe you keep doing the same things over and over and over again, and it's not getting you anywhere, right? That's insanity. If you're expecting a change, different results, right? Traditions, following the same thing that everybody else has been doing, what you've been doing all this time, and you know that it's not for you anymore, that's got to go. Some of you have to have a lot more faith in making that decision to release whatever it is you're being called to release. God is with you all the time. He doesn't abandon you. He doesn't forsake you. He doesn't fail you. You can't be afraid of making that decision, of moving forward, of releasing those unhealthy attachments. God is supporting you with this. So what's up with the fear? You're having fear over faith instead of faith over fear here. Fear is devil energy. God is there to help you with this. Follow your divine guidance and let God lead the way. Follow the light. Don't follow the dark. And whatever programming has been done, that has to be let go. It's like you're afraid of what other people are going to think of you when you make that decision. And you already know what that is. Some of you need to have a better direct line of communication with God to help you overcome this doom and gloom energy, crisis energy, negative thoughts, like really self-sabotaging and doubting yourself energy. God's really going to help you clear that. Okay, look what's after that, the Ace of Cups. See, healing. A lot of healing has to be done. God is giving you this opportunity for renewal and rejuvenation. There's a new start here. One where you could be more at peace. And you can feel more refreshed and liberated, okay? Look what's at the top. That's a lover. Some of you, it deals with a marriage. Others of you, it's with a divinely guided connection, a deep soul connection. That energetic cord has to be cut. Cancer. You have to start making healthier choices that are in alignment with your highest good. You have to start being more in alignment with God, as I said. Direct line of communication with God, following God more, trusting God, listening, having faith more. And your angels, your spirit team. Being more in alignment with your higher self. Not listening to humans, society, okay? It's the law of God, not the law of man you should be following, is what I just heard. And if this is a divine counterpart, okay, a twin flame thing, some of you are afraid to really speak up for yourself and walk away from your counterpart. You're going to have to do it because it's necessary. The cycle will continue to repeat with low vibrational energy if you don't surrender to God. If you don't start seeking and listening to your divine guidance here. You really have to start making healthier choices that are in alignment with your highest good and learn how to be happier. Because if you're dealing with a counterpart here, this person is not looking to God either. The divine feminine is the one who starts that off. The divine feminine starts the healing first. And then the divine masculine follows suit. Thank you for that confirmation. Spirit. See? That's how it works. It's not the other way around. You may be hoping and wishing and praying that your person would come clean, tell you the truth, express their feelings for you, or they would stop doing what they're doing, right? That's causing some sort of like, why does this keep happening? This crisis, negative thoughts, whatever. You're just like, I know what I need to do, but I'm afraid to do it. It's like you're waiting for your person to fix everything when God is asking you to look to Him for the fixing, for the healing. This is about emotional healing. When each one of us does our own emotional healing and we start making better choices for ourselves, healthier choices, releasing the unhealthy things, that's when we get more in alignment with our higher selves, and that's when we achieve union with self. You have to achieve union with self first before you can achieve harmonious sacred union. You have to be harmonious within yourself and be really close to God before you can, before your person gets there, and before you can come into harmonious union. These energies are not going to get you there, period. These energies are not going to bring about the life that you want, abundance, happier times, none of that. That has to go. And you really have to start following more of your divine guidance here. I mean, it's all about looking to God. God and God only, not your counterpart, not other people, unless it's like a spiritual advisor or a counselor or someone who's going to help you get there, who's really in alignment with God and their higher selves who can help you on this journey. Other than that, anyone else who is not high vibrational is not going to help you with this. All right, let's see what you need to avoid. Oh boy. Oh boy. What's going on? Okay. That's weird in which they came out. Okay, let's see what we got. Wow. 2 major arcana, and we had a major at the bottom. Maybe you're dealing with a Taurus or an Aquarius or a Virgo, but it doesn't have to be, or there's something about these placements in your chart that is significant. The Fool and the Hermit. And I'm going to have to be flat out honest, guys, and this is not a knock on you. If you've watched me before, I have a lot of compassion for people. But sometimes I have to give tough love because, look, I had to be hard on myself too. And my guides and my angels, boy, were they hard on me because I was not listening to my intuition. Okay? But again, I talk about me being passionate about helping people to get out of these 8 of Swords energies, right? So what my guides want me to say is that you have to stop being foolish. You have to stop trying to be in this energy where you're very lackadaisical and like just being all willy-nilly. Okay, you know what? Everything's just going to magically happen and everything's all fine and dandy. The next thing you know, you're not paying attention to where you're walking and you fall off the cliff, right? And there's God. There's that dog trying to get your attention. Hey, Cancer, wait a minute. It's like this aloofness. It's like you're trying to avoid the situation, thinking that it's just going to magically work itself out when you know you need to do something, Cancer. Okay? This is like fools rush in energy. Maybe you're the one being impulsive and not you're being too carefree, or your person is. This is kind of like being irresponsible for your actions and your life's choices. This is also about having a lack of faith. You're gonna have to take that leap, Cancer, and not give in to fear. Again, I said faith over fear, not fear over faith. And I call the Hermit. The Hermit's here. You are paranoid with fear by making this decision, by letting your person go, by following your heart, by following, doing something that ties to your life's mission. And it's something that either goes against your religion, it goes against what society apparently says, it goes against what your parents say, what your friends think, your coworkers think, it goes against what you've been doing all of your life. Again, the programming, the traditions. Maybe you are in a family where everyone's been like, it's like the doctor and lawyer thing, right? Oh, everybody in the family is a doctor and a lawyer, so you should be one too. But God is calling you to be a counselor, calling you to be an advisor, calling you to be a psychic, a tarot reader, a healer, right? Reiki, whatever this is you're being called to do, Cancer, that is your calling. If it doesn't scare the crap out of you, it is not your calling. Plain and simple. You're giving into too much fear with taking that leap, just jumping in and doing it. You have a huge fear of the unknown. But God is there to catch you. God's just waiting for you to have faith in him to do this, Cancer. That is it. Pray about it. God, augment my faith and my strength in you so I can get over this fear. Ask for signs and synchronicities. If you need a specific sign, God, can you just show me a sign of a dove 3 times in 3 days that this decision that I want to make, these cords that I want to cut, these things that I want to release is for my highest good? And you will get bombarded with those signs, okay? That's the thing with the fear. It's like, I don't know what happened. So many of us forgot about God, asking God to take these burdens from us and to give us that strength and to give us more faith to overcome the fear. It's so much easier for us to stay tied to the devil because it's been like that for most of our lives, has it not? That's the 3D world. And everyone's like, yeah, I have faith. And then all of a sudden, I've asked people this a lot of times. Well, would you leave your job right now if God asked you to? And they look at me like a deer in headlights. What did you just say? You said, you know what I said. If you got the calling, God said, hey, so-and-so, I want you to quit your job next week. Would you do it? And so many of them would be like, well, I have bills to pay. I have a family to take care of. Okay, yes, but what is God telling you to do? Where's your faith? And when I tell them, do you have faith in God? Oh, yeah, I have faith in God. And I tell them this thing. Okay, God tells you to leave your job next week. Are you going to do it? Well, but, then the buts come out. And that's where this energy kicks in. You either have 100% faith or you don't. It cannot be 98-2. It cannot be 70-30. It's 100% faith, 0 fear. It's all or nothing. And God is calling you to have faith in this. That's all you need. Ask God to strengthen that for you. He will do it. But He will not if you don't ask. Then you have to maintain that faith to help get you through this, Cancer. But you have to be the one to jump in and do it, to take that leap of faith. You cannot hold back anymore because you know either this marriage is not, it's just not working out, and you know it. It's not going to get any better. You know that this job isn't fulfilling for you. There's a lot of craziness going on. You know you have to release yourself from that. If you're living somewhere and it's kind of chaotic, or you know that situation, I don't know, maybe the crime's getting worse or things are happening and people were moving in and there's causing some chaos or something like that. I don't know. That's for somebody. And God's telling you to move. God's telling you to release this. You have to listen to what God's telling you. The fear is going to keep you stuck. That's what's keeping you stuck, Cancer. It's the fear. You have to release the fear. You cannot give in to this fear anymore. The faith has to set in here. And if this is dealing with your counterpart, you cannot be afraid of losing your counterpart when you finally say goodbye and say, enough is enough, I'm done with this. What's meant for you is meant for you, Cancer. If you know deep down inside this is your person, trust in that. But you have to start following that light. Stop staying in the dark. Stop giving into this paranoia. There's just some serious paralyzing fear here that you have, Cancer. The dark energies are really gripping you with this fear. Give it to God. Ask God for the help. You're resisting going into hermit mode. Some of you are afraid of being alone. Let me tell you, I've been by myself for years, and I have my son with me because I have my son full-time now. I know I'm never alone. I realized that I had my guides and my angels. And my counterpart was there too, his higher self, because we're always connected in the 3D, in the 3D, in the 5D. But I had to realize that I could get over this fear of doing my work, of really facing my demons and understanding that I needed to redo some things in my life, that I needed to clear out stuff, and I needed to start working towards my dharma, fulfilling my life's purpose. That's the lantern here. That's the star card. This is also going on that journey towards your healing. It's imperative for a lot of you guys to start working towards this. That will help you to get to fulfilling your life's mission, your purpose here. You can't suppress your emotions anymore. You can't give in to this drama anymore. The doom and the gloom and the chaos and the crisis. The fear. And if this is fear of being alone, God is with you all the time. So are your angels. Always. You have other people that could support you. Maybe you need to be finding a community of like-minded people to give you a little bit of a boost where you feel safe. It's like the community that I have with my mobile app. It's a safe place for people to connect and to allow themselves to feel vulnerable and get additional guidance. But you're going to have to let go of this fear. It feels like there's not 1 ounce of faith in you, Cancer, and you think there is. But if this fear is consuming you to a great degree where you just cannot move, then that's telling me that there's no faith there when you think there is. Because when you have faith, you could do anything. When you have faith, you don't have any fear of taking that leap, of starting a new journey, of towards healing, of being alone, of understanding your true potential. I'm not listening to the outside world anymore and starting to listen to yourself. Bottom of the deck is the King of Cups. You may be dealing with another water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, if this is your energy. Or you're dealing with somebody who doesn't express their emotions. They keep them in. There's a lot of drama surrounding this guy in this position because this is the shadow side of the King of Cups. This even talks about ghosting, but I really freaking hate that word. I really do. I'm not going to lie. This whole ghosting thing is really killing people. It's really messing with their minds. It is. Ghosting causes people to lose their crap and to get into this energy. The mental state. Oh my God. Why are they not talking to me? Why are they not answering me? Nobody is required to answer everything that you text them. Every call that you make. No one is obligated. It doesn't say anywhere in any law that somebody has to respond to you. I just call ghosting not responding. And you know what's funny? I was thinking about this the other day and I laughed at myself and I say, sometimes I ghost even my ex-husband. And I love my ex-husband. I still do. It's not this romantic love. It's more unconditional. And I'm not being rude because some people say, well, that's rude. That's disrespectful. Who said that? Here's the thing, Cancer. If you think it's rude and disrespectful, if my ex-husband texts me something and he may be coming from a low vibrational place and I get a little bit bothered and I say, wait a minute. Let me blow this off. I don't respond. Why? Because if I do, it may very well be a very poor response that is more devil energy based. And it's going to be not a good thing because sometimes silence is golden. And sometimes when my husband doesn't respond to me, it's because he's not ready to respond or he's trying to do the same thing that I do. Where I said, let me not get into this because what I might say might be very detrimental. It might be very negative. And sometimes people have a hard time with dealing with emotions and expressing them. We cannot fault them for that. There is childhood trauma that is causing this. So whoever this is for, there's a reason why I'm going off on this because this might be your story. My divine counterpart went through this too. Had a lot of love for a lot of people. We got burned a lot. And then when it came to somebody who was really being generous and kind and compassionate and unconditionally loving, he couldn't handle it. And sometimes when I would call him out on something, or I would say something very loving, I would not get anything back. And I knew he wasn't ready because he did not know how to respond then. I had to respect that. You cannot force somebody to love you. You cannot force somebody to answer your every beck and call, your every text, your every phone call, your every email. You are not respecting that person's space. You can still unconditionally love them, but that doesn't mean that they have to respond to you. Unconditional love means you accept things the way that they are. You accept the person for who they are. That's what that means. You accept the situation for what it is and you let it go. You do not give in to fear. You do not give in to uncertainties, deceptive energy, none of that. So if you're dealing with somebody who's not expressive, I can tell you from experience, it's because they have childhood trauma that has blocked their throat chakra and it's blocked their heart chakra. You have to be compassionate and give them space and be understanding of that. I don't think you would like it if somebody forced you to do something that you felt uncomfortable with. And that's why I said the story with me. So-called ghosting my own husband. Why? Because I'm like, well, this is not the right time for me to respond to this. I'm going to let this blow over. Because even God tells me, Jess, there's no need to respond. Because if you do, he will get triggered. If you do, you might say something that's not pleasant. And that's not what we want you to do. And sometimes I'm dealing with my own stuff. Tends to happen with my clients sometimes too. I can't be there for them all the time. And sometimes God wants my clients to really trust their intuition instead of freaking out and coming to me all the time. I wait a little bit, and then what happens? They text me, oh my gosh, Jess, I just realized something and I was able to do this. And see, me not responding was more beneficial to my client or to whoever I'm talking to than it was for me responding right after they sent me the text. God knows what he's doing, Cancer. So if you're dealing with somebody who's dealing with ghosting, who's withholding, their feelings from you, there's a reason for this. There's a reason for everything. But we have to give compassion and let them be and let God handle the situation. You focus on you. Your person will deal with your person's issues on their own. And if there's a drama surrounding you, especially in a marriage or in a connection here, we got to let go of that drama. You got to stop kidding yourself. You got to stop kidding yourself about this. You guys need to cut this cord from this person. This could also be you're not trusting your intuition here. Could be all of the above. You're letting your emotions get the best of you instead of having faith and trusting in what God wants for you. Okay. All right. Let's see why the Eight of Swords is here. I'm very curious. I kind of already know, but let's see what the cards say. Spirit guides, angels, galactic family, Pleiadian Syrians, please reveal to us for our highest good. Why is the Eight of Swords here? Can you please clarify this Eight of Swords? Please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. Thank you. Oh, wow. Okay. Nine of Wands in the reverse. Lovers in the reverse. Ten of Cups in the reverse. Some of you are dealing with inauthentic relationships. There's a marriage here. Okay? It is not a divine marriage is what I just heard. Again, this is for some of you, not for all of you. You don't have the same values. You're not aligned. You're not on the same page. There's no core values here that are the same between the two of you. You don't see things eye to eye. Some of you might even be different religions, and maybe one or the other is trying to put the religion onto the other person. I don't know where that came from, but that was what was channeled. Okay? And we saw the Lover's card at the top of the deck, right? You guys are not making healthy choices that are in alignment with your highest good. You are attaching yourself to things that are inauthentic. Your emotions are letting you get the best of you. It's like I was feeling 10 of Cups. It's right there. And if you continue to be in these relationships that don't serve you, Cancer, it's really draining your energies. I can feel it. Drama, family imbalances, discord. There's things in the home that's not going right. In the marriage, it's like everything's falling apart. And you're feeling very overwhelmed by this. And it's causing, when you feel overwhelmed and pressured and sad and distraught, it causes you to be eight of swords. It's like everything starts to come crashing down and your vibration really tanks, which causes poor health. Some of you, your health is really not there. Okay. You're like, how am I going to get out of this? Marriage, how am I going to get out of this relationship? You might have been married in a church or something, and you're afraid of what society, your family's going to say, what your church is going to say when they find out you get divorced or whatever. Look, I've been through this. If this is you, Cancer, I've been through this. But God told me, Jess, there are a lot of misconceptions about marriage. And it was a little scary at first because I'm like, am I going crazy? But God says, no, you're not. And after I separated from my husband, I met my divine counterpart, and that really got me on my path to healing. And God told me, Jess, I am going to give you the divine love, but you're going to have to do a lot of things to get it. Like I said, you have to do things you've never, to have something you've never, to get something you've never had, you have to do things you've never done. And I did a lot. I cut cords. I stopped believing in what religion taught me as a kid. I started praying a lot more and getting more connected to God. And God was showing me his truth about religion, about marriage, about relationships, about family. That being a single parent wasn't the worst thing in the world. That being divorced wasn't the worst thing in the world. And people used to have pity on me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry for what? I'm living my best life right now. And people still think I'm crazy. They still look at me like, how is she so happy? How is she able to do what she does? How is she so peaceful? It's because I did my work and I trusted in God wholeheartedly, and I just went in it with all of his faith. And it wasn't hard. I mean, it was hard. I was going to say it wasn't easy. It was hard, but I made it through. So some of you have to stop resisting this. You have what it takes to do this. You got to stop putting up those barriers and blocking yourself from what God wants for you. Because God wants this for you. Cancer, the happily ever after, the harmonious marriage and blissful relationship, and blissful relationships with all types of people. Okay? You will have idyllic peace, harmony, and balance and tranquility here. There's a lot of harmony and peace here with these cards. A deep soul connection that is ordained by God, that is fully blessed by God between two people. that have completed their healing from childhood trauma and all this other stuff. God wants this for you. This is the higher form of love. This is the love that God wants for everyone, not just romance. People look at this as the twin flame card, right? Oh my God, it's the lover's card. Everybody wants to be in love. But it's bigger than Eros, okay? It's agape. This is agape. That's the higher form of love that God wants. He wants this. It's not just this and just being in a connection. It's being in a divine connection. That's what it is. This is also lack of faith right here. Lack of confidence and courage. You have to have that. God is going to give you that. Look what we see again. It's the Fool. You guys, there is an issue with faith here, okay? You are having fear and your emotions drive practically everything you do. We have to flip that around and start really building up your strength here. If you need more guidance with that, I would be more than happy to help you, but I can't force you to do that. If anything, you take this up with God and you start working with God. I know for me, it was really hard. Having unwavering faith is the hardest thing to do in life, period. It's harder than doing the shadow work. It's harder than achieving self-mastery. It's harder than cutting cords. It is. From my experience, it is. The faith thing is the hardest thing to maintain. Why? Because you can't see it. You have no idea what's going on. So you have to put full trust in God. And that is hard to do. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. You have to take that leap of faith, Cancer. Let's see why the Fool and the Hermit are here. Oh my God, guys, you can't make this up. You have to have this. You have to work towards this, Cancer. You do. God is here for you. I don't know what it is, Cancer. You gotta have faith. This energy is all over this reading. There's a serious lack of faith in you, Cancer. You gotta really ask God to help you with this, or me, or somebody, to work towards that. There's this huge fear of the unknown. It's like you gotta know what's at the other side of those doors. No, you don't. When you have God there, you don't need to know everything. You don't need to know what's going to happen. You got to stop worrying about the future. You have to be in the present moment. I talked about Nine of Pentacles too. You see, and the Hanged Man. Look, there's lack of confidence, huge lack of confidence. It's all over here too. Lack of confidence, lack of confidence, lack of confidence to take action. He's fearless, but in this position, he's fearful. You're doubting your abilities. You're doubting your worth. You're doubting that you can do this. This is also being afraid to be single for some of you. You're afraid of being alone. You don't want to be single. It's so sad that so many people put, and I know Valentine's Day is coming around. Maybe this has to do something with it. I was talking to my son the other day, and it was like, okay, February. Are there any birthdays in February? I know there's a day off for my son and President's Day and things like that, and the Pluto return for the U.S. And then when I was walking through Target the other day, I was like, Valentine's Day? What the heck? I said, oh my God, Valentine's Day is February 14th. I've completely forgotten about Valentine's Day. It doesn't exist for me anymore. You know how crazy that is? That's because I got into this power right here. I learned how to be happily single, and I built my business on my own. I work for myself. I don't answer to anybody. And I still get to do my fun stuff with my son. Like, guys, I could cry right now. It's weird because I'm getting emotional. Maybe it's because you guys are too. Because look, if you've been watching me, okay, I am hoping that I am some sort of inspiration for all of you because of what I've been able to accomplish. And it was not easy, but if I can do it, you can do the same thing. And knowing what I have gone through and what I've been able to overcome has been so incredibly eye-opening to me that the life that I'm living now, I never thought it was possible. And I know for a fact other people who watch me and even my family members and whatever friends I used to have who may still be spying on me is what I'm feeling right now. They don't get it. How is it that she's a divorced single mom? I don't have anybody here except for a sister who lives an hour away. And we barely, catch up because she lives so far and she's a very busy person. She has a very highly prominent job here. Don't have any more friends who around me. They're all over the world, which is beautiful. And I overcame all of that. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. But I'm fully content. And it's amazing that I've gotten this far. But I had to have faith in God that everything was going to be okay when I left my career, when I walked away from my marriage, when I walked away from everybody ridiculing me, especially like family and saying all these poor things and, the whole sinner thing and the whole that my life was going to fall apart. It never happened because I had faith in God. Everything's going to work out, and everything did. And I continue to have that faith because I know where I'm at is not the end for me. I know I have this coming. Harmonious sacred union with my counterpart and the blending of families because my counterpart has a child too. It's funny because our sons are the same age. A harmonious life with a divine love, divine counterpart, divine everything. The blissful life that I'm already living, it's now going to be magnified with somebody else who is my divine counterpart. And I know that's what God has for me. And I can say that because I feel it fully, because I have faith, unwavering faith that it is happening as I speak. And when you have that type of faith and you know that it is for you, that it is coming for you, when you've done your work and you know that this is what you are deserving of, that's when you know you're in full Nine of Pentacles energy and full of this full energy with having faith. And the Fool is here twice. We've seen it 3 times. You have to let go and let God handle everything, especially if this is a marriage you want to get out of or this is dealing with your divine counterpart. You have to let go of your counterpart. You have to fully surrender the connection to God. You have to fully surrender everything to God. If you have been praying for peace and tranquility and it's not there yet, it's because you haven't fully given your burdens to God. You haven't fully surrendered. And I talked about going into hangman mode, right? Removing yourself from the chaos, seeking God's guidance. What, God, can you please enlighten me? How do I overcome this fear? Who can help me with this? What do I need to do? And God's going to give you the answer. You're going to get that aha moment. You'll be like, oh my God, okay, I get it now. But you have to act upon it. You cannot get the divine guidance and stay suspended in this tree and just wait around. Because some of you, I said, you're waiting around for like miracles to happen without taking any action. You have to take a chance on this. This is taking the leap of faith, taking a risk. But you cannot give in to fear, Cancer. You can't. God is with you here. Look, another major, guys. It's High Priestess. You really have to start trusting and listening to your intuition. You have to stop withholding things and stop suppressing your intuition and stop avoiding the guidance you're being given. It's not going to lead you astray and never does, because that's God talking to you and through you. You're a very powerful being. And I said some of you could be very well be psychic and intuitive, all right? I said some of you may be being called to be a tarot reader, to be a psychic, to help others with your psychic abilities, because you guys have a gift. Yet what society says about this, what your religion says about it, I went through the same thing, Cancer. I was raised Catholic. I had a conversation with my parents right after Christmas. My dad and my mom is still kind of trying to figure out how I got into this. They still think the shoe's going to drop or I'm going to fail or I'm going to come into some, I don't know, hell. And I know I'm not. It hasn't happened yet and it never will happen. You need to be understanding of the fact that God gave you some serious gifts here to utilize for the greater good of humanity. And it's time for you to do it. Whatever your intuition is telling you, you need to start really following that and not mistrusting it, because it is always right. Let go of these unhealthy people, these inauthentic relationships, marriages, whatever this is for you, and start trusting in God and in your intuition. Okay? All right. With God, all things are possible, Cancer. All you need is the faith as small as a mustard seed. But it's gotta be 100% of the mustard seed, not 70% of the mustard seed, okay? Let's see what guidance we have for you. What guidance do we have for Cancer, Spirit Guides and Angels? Please and thank you. Commit to a spirit of excellence. Whatever you do, do well. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 10. If you feel drawn to look up this Bible verse, Cancer, Spirit is highly recommending that you do so because there are additional important messages here. What was I talking about? Peace. You really need to find more peace in your life, but you're going to have to do something to get it. And you're going to have to let go of things to get it. When I talk about, see, you guys are very gifted at something. It's psychic abilities or whatever, tarot reading, healing, Reiki, whatever this is. Very intuitive. Whatever you do, do well, Cancer. I will read the book in a little bit, but I'm going to show you the bottom of the deck. Make the best of every situation. With God, everything is possible. It's exactly what I said. Book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 26. This is what you need more of right here. It's where the faith comes in. That's why I said it. I felt it so strongly. I'm going to read the book because I know you guys need to know what the book says. Commit to a spirit of excellence. In a society that promotes instant gratification, many people hold back from giving their all in their endeavors. Yep, holding back with the Fool card there. They may want the best things in life, but they aren't quite willing to give their best. They take the easy way out or just do the minimum to get by. This usually doesn't get them very far. On the contrary, if you make a commitment to giving 100% to whatever you're doing, see what I talked about 100%? You will receive earthly rewards, including the satisfaction of knowing you've done your best. It's not about perfection, but rather about caring about the quality of your work. It's about glorifying God, whether at work, in your relationships, during prayerful time with God, or even while washing the dishes. Give your all with an attitude of gratitude. Resist the temptation to be mediocre or to procrastinate. With God's will front and center, stay mindful and commit to giving your best in all areas of your life as if God were right there with you. After all, He is. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting goosebumps as I read this. All right. Make The best situation. Make the best of every situation. Have you ever admired how a bird glides and dives so gracefully? Yet, as easy as it makes it look, it must hold a very measured and precise posture to safely and effectively dive for food. Perhaps, like the bird, you're holding tension in your body, stressed by too much work and pressing responsibilities. It may be time to assess your own beliefs about what constitutes being an adult. Did you watch your parents work continually, engage nonstop in their careers or housework or volunteer work? You can reinvent what it means to be a healthy, responsible adult, balancing giving with receiving. Like the bird, you can glide gracefully while meeting all your responsibilities. The key is to shoulder your burdens with God, who will lift you up the moment you ask for his help. Through challenging experiences comes wisdom and a deeper understanding of life. Pray to find the blessings and lessons within each situation, and you will. I have faith in you, Cancer. I do. I really, really do. And I'm not going to lie, it's been hard because I know these readings have been difficult for you guys, but Cancer, if you're being drawn to these, there's a reason. God really wants you to take that leap of faith. Your whole life is going to change when you do this. I promise you that because I have done the same thing. All right, let's see what the new moon in Aquarius is bringing you. Woo! Okay, well, Spirit's really there. The new moon in Pisces, attuned to the divine. Full moon in Libra, find a balance. Bottom of the deck is leave the past behind. Last quarter moon in Capricorn. Look what happened. I picked up these two cards because I put this deck on top of the tarot deck that I put there. There's the King of Wands. Is there somebody who's controlling or something? You're not controlling the situation. You got to control the situation. You got to stop dealing with an Aries here who wants his way and their way only. Look what's underneath that, Hangman. See? You got to stop resisting. Let go and let God. All right, let's go read the book. Let's see. Full moon in Libra. Let's go look at full moon in Libra. Oh, they want last moon, quarter moon in Capricorn first. They want the bottom of the deck first. Okay. Something is standing between what you want and how you can get it. That's okay. Now you know it's there. You can do something about it. You just need to be strategic. It's wonderful to go for things with a childlike, carefree attitude, but drawing this card suggests that you need a proper plan as well. Leave the past behind. You may need to move through and clear criticism someone has made of you, which has somehow burned itself into your brain. You have work to do. The moon has a bright, shining energy, but a reserved pressure is piling on. The great thing about knowing what stands between you and your goal is that you can do something about it. Your manifestation affirmation is the only way out is through. Yep. You gotta face your fears. Full moon in Libra. Find a balance. Focusing on your own wants and needs is understandable. We all need to look after ourselves. However, this card suggests you need to find a balance between what you need versus what someone else needs. Walk a mile in their shoes. Once you understand where they're coming from and why, you can take action. If you've been through a worrying time, including regarding your health, this card reminds you to find the right people for help. Make up your own mind about your situation rather than being too influenced by others. Find a balance between your own needs and what you do for others. Remember that we're all co-creating, so getting other people on your side by being understanding is a win-win. Your manifestation affirmation is, there is love all around me. I am lovable. And then the new moon in Pisces. Oh, right there. You have the opportunity to slip into the flow of life now. When that happens, you want what is happening, and what is happening is what you want. Your manifesting is working perfectly. Just make sure that you stay attuned to your higher self, and you'll be well on your way to feeling blissfully happy and in tune with your dreams. Meditation is the best way to connect with your higher self. So practice it if you know how, or try learning from an online instructional video. Above all else, be kind to yourself and others. This card is an especially good sign for matters related to spirituality, connecting, contacting other realms, taking some time out, or dealing with a fear. The more you can believe that all is well, the more all will be well for you. See? My conscious dreams create my reality is your manifestation affirmation. Wow. Okay. So we're now going to see what's going on with your love situation. What's going on with love for Cancer? Spirit guides and angels, galactic family, Pleiadian Sirians, please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. Well, there it is. The runner. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. What was I talking about? Somebody's dealing with stuff you know nothing about. If this is with the whole ghosting thing I was talking about, this person has fear of intimacy, listening to the ego. This is a codependent relationship still, Cancer. This is what the person is dealing with. Okay? Karmic relationship, fleeting, triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. This person's dealing with a karmic relationship, or because their karmic relationship that they had, if they're not in one, caused some issues, which is why they leave, they ghost, they fleet, they just disappear all of a sudden. They need to clear this karmic contract out first before they can fulfill the contract with you. It's for some of you, not for all of you. All right. This person's dealing with karmic relationship issues. They could have very well been dealing with a karmic who is very controlling, very temperamental, perhaps. It depends. It's not for everybody. This is also for you to learn lessons with your karmic relationships, because you too, Cancer, have lessons to learn, and it has to do with codependency for some of you. It's like both of you end up in this like fleeting stage, the runner stage as they call it. Let go and love you. You need to let go. If you're in a karmic relationship, Cancer, you need to stop that. Because you can't heal if you're in a karmic relationship. You're codependent. You're afraid of being alone. You got to get out of the karmic relationship. Okay? You're in a codependent karmic relationship for some of you. Some of you are listening to the ego. If those of you are in a karmic one, you got to leave that. If you are a divine counterpart, you're a twin flame, and you're in a karmic relationship, there's no way union is going to manifest harmoniously if you are still in the karmic relationship. I know, I've been through that. You have to let go of all relationships right now because they are inauthentic. It's the 10 of Cups in the reverse. And these were in the reverse, and they had me keep them in the upright. See? Not in alignment, okay? You have to cut this relationship out, and you have to start loving yourself. You have to start focusing on self-love. And again, your person is dealing with the same thing. You guys are mirrors if you are counterparts. And if you still haven't healed from a karmic relationship, Cancer, you need to do some healing with that. All right? And maybe you keep running into people who have fear of intimacy, who are always listening to their ego all the time. and they tend to be detached or something. Bottom of the deck is the Phoenix. New phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, and changed mind. It's all about your growth. Phoenix rising from the ashes, right? Making those fundamental changes to let go of these types of connections here. All right? Or connection, you know, that are triggering you, things like that. Turmoil. See, it says turmoil. Some of you are like chaos, a chaotic connection. We don't want to be in those. It doesn't bring in the Ten of Cups, guys. It doesn't. And the upright. It's time for you to move to the next phase of healing. Your transformation. Renewal, rejuvenation. Okay? All right, Cancer. If you would like a personal reading with me, please check out the description box below for information on that. I have direct links to some of my services, or you can hop on over to capellawellness.com. Check out my service suite there. You can read more about my journey if you haven't already. If you want to reach out to me for whatever reason, for any questions about this reading, or if you want to have a personal reading to dive deeper into what's going on here, you could do that too. Send me an email if you have questions, or just go ahead and book a personal reading with me. I also want to mention, what was the other thing? If you want to be part of my Capella family, if you sign up on my website at capellawellness.com or click on the link in the description box for it, you will get an email sent to you with a link to my private mobile app where you will have unlimited access. Well, for right now it's unlimited, but it's free daily guidance that helps you with the weeklies that you get. You get affirmations of the day. You have access to the Light Counterpart community. If you're a twin flame, you have access to the Capella crew community so that you can meet more members of your soul tribe and kind of like find like-minded people to help you get through your journeys. I also give special perks and surprises to my members on there. And that's a great way for you to directly communicate with me without having to go through email and stuff like that, okay? We have chat options and stuff in the app there. It's all free, okay? It's completely free. So it doesn't cost anything. All it requires you is to download the app. That's it. I also now have donation links in the description box. My guides wanted me to put that there to have the equal give and take type of thing. So if you feel drawn to support my channel and the work that I do, by all means, the information in the description box will tell you where you can make your donation. And if you do make a donation, I thank you in advance for your generosity and your kindness. And I pray that that donation returns to you tenfold. All right, Cancer, that concludes your weekly reading. Thank you so very much for watching, for subscribing to this channel if you haven't already, and for illuminating the thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. I wish you the best today and always. I send you so much love, and I hope I illuminated your well-being today. Again, this is Jess from Capella Wellness, starring out.